Welcome back to Sasquatch Hypothesis, the best damn Bigfoot show on the internet.
Big-chested, and it just was big. I don't know how to describe it any better than that. It's just made me look like I was a kid if I'd have stood beside it.
It had long, messed up hair on its body. It was big. I would say, if I had to guess, I would say probably 7-8 feet tall.
Grandma's going, and all of a sudden the kids are yelling and screaming, Grandma, Grandma, the monster's coming, the monster's coming. And she's like, what are you talking about? And this thing, apparently, it caught up with the truck and snagged one of the little girls and ran back up towards the mountain. That little girl was never found at all. What did this thing do to the little girl? Nobody doesn't know.
Sometimes irreverent and always abrasive, but we love him anyway. Right, ladies? Here's Reverend Rick.
Good evening, folks. Rumors of my death were greatly exaggerated. Please excuse the audio quality. I don't have my whole setup back up yet. I'm in a new state. I'm down in Louisiana. And new internet connection, which hopefully will do well. Better than the old one. The old one was so bad. I just couldn't barely do a show. If a show came out, I was lucky. So anyway, I'm back after a very long hiatus, very long time, a lot of time off, and hopefully things will be back to normal now. In the coming weeks, I plan for the holidays. I'm going to do, live chats like all night, probably starting at 10, 11 o'clock at night. Now and then. It's not going to be every night, so click that bell icon so that you know when I go live, so you can come on here, and we're going to do some holiday chats about Bigfoot all night. In the Discord, which isn't actually on the screen right now, but it's in the chat, and it'll be on my closing screen. It's also in the screen that I was just on during the intro. So we'll be talking on my Discord channel during the live show, and it'll just be, talk about mostly Bigfoot, but other things are fair game too, as long as everyone keeps it clean and that kind of thing. First, I want to talk about my stepfather, or my father-in-law, is in the hospital, and the nursing facility. He's 94 years old. He's time's catching up with him, and we're trying to get him back home. And if you would send your prayers out to him. His name is William, affectionately known as Wild Bill. So if you would, please keep him in your prayers. Okay, tonight's topic is going to be about something I've never heard anyone talk about before. I've heard people kind of throw it out there in passing, but nobody's really gone into in depth about it, and that's about the mythology of trolls. I believe, and as you're going to see, I'm going to read some stuff here from some websites that discuss the origins of the mythology of trolls and that kind of thing, and you'll see what I've discovered and why I decided to go ahead and do a show about this. So, the origins of the mythology. As Norse mythology was mostly handed down orally, which means it predates written history, it can be difficult to get a real handle on what's what. Gods and monsters are referred to by different names, and when we come to interpret the source material, we find various scholars disagreeing on almost everything. I don't have it up there because my setup isn't right yet, so you're going to have to just look at my ugly mug while I read it to you. Sorry. Okay, the noun troll. This is very interesting. I found this very, very surprising too. Because let me read it first. The noun troll, or, it's the same word, troll or troll, anyway, meaning various, it has various meanings. Being, fiend, demon, werewolf, giant, and giant comes from a Proto-Germanic word trulin, also unknown origin. Let me see, is this something? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. What we do, getting on, okay, there are two types of trolls. When you boil it all down, there are two types of trolls: mountain trolls and forest trolls. The first type, known as the forest or mountain troll, they're generally depicted. I think this little typos in this this website here, which is called lifeinnorway.net, if you want to look it up, and it's under Norwegian trolls, subdirectory. They're generally depicted as large, dumb, brutish creatures akin to a large Neanderthal. Sounds like a description of a Bigfoot, doesn't it? These are beings that eat hobbits. Hobbits, okay, we'll throw out the hobbits part. For dinner in Lord of the Rings, or detract from Voldemort and Harry Potter. So this is about how trolls are actually in classical literature. They're in our movies, Lord of the Rings and all of that franchise, The Hobbit, etc., and so on, Harry Potter. Okay, trolls have been around longer than probably every other mythical being that I can think of. I mean, they predate written history, to the point where they're in books, they're in movies, and trolls, in my opinion, and I'm about to read some other stuff here, are just Bigfoot. Bigfoot is what instigated the whole mythology of trolls. Now, mythology in itself actually usually has a basis in fact. It's like the telephone game. There is a factual story told about what really happened to another person. By the time you get to several other people, and years and centuries go by, that story evolves into this, what we would call mythology. So, but it's a basis in fact. And I believe that the mythology of trolls is based on people's interactions with Sasquatch. There's some picture. There's only one picture I'd like to show you, but I can't because it's copyright, obviously. But if you go into Discord, you'll see it posted in chat under, and it says spoiler on it. Just a second. I'm trying to skip past the stuff that's just kind of a lot of verbiage. Okay, I don't really want to finish that website. Just a second, people. For some reason, I lost my location here. Okay, physical description. Scandinavian folklore includes two kinds of trolls: the giants and the little folk. Now that I find that interesting too, is that they're associating the word troll, as you just heard me say a minute ago, includes werewolves, but it also includes little folk, little people. And you hear a lot of people talk about running into little people in the forest in the same areas where Bigfoot sightings have occurred. I personally, I'm a little skeptical on the little people thing, but I find it interesting that in mythology, there is an association between trolls and little people. As a matter of fact, they're both considered a different type of troll. Okay, sometimes a small community of trolls can spring up in one area. But these beasts have little to no form of government, even when they live together. At best, the strongest of them might be crowned king. I guess, alpha male is another way of saying that. Some trolls... No, that's, I think, more mythology, really, than reality. Okay, trolls are traditionally dim-witted, so they aren't in the habit of cultivating talents. The greatest skills they have are the skills they were born with: brute strength and a strong connection with nature. They can uproot trees to use as clubs and hurl boulders as missiles. Uprooting trees, using them as clubs, and throwing boulders at people. I mean, the mightiest of them is capable. Oh, that's just crap. That's just the mythology side. They don't create thunderstorms. Cultural. Okay, that's that for this page. Now I'm moving on to another page. Okay. All right. Trolls are a fixture of the Scandinavian folk landscape, and it is there that we must search for their essence. They seem to be linked to the Jotnar or Jotnar, the race of giants who were refused access to Asgard by the Norse gods. Okay, hold on a second. This puts the creation of trolls as earlier than mankind. There are no clear definition of a troll in the oldest tales. However, the name troll is used for Jotnar themselves, mountain dwellers, ghosts, and ugly people. From this, sorry folks, I don't have the glasses I need to read this screen. Actually, let me blow it up a little bit so I can read it a little easier. Okay, from this, I have no idea what this word is. INCHOATE, inchoate idea of what a troll is would develop one of the greatest tropes in fantasy and folktale. This is folklorethursday.com. Okay. And there's a picture of a troll living under a bridge, looking up at, passersby. Okay, the idea of trolls as being beings living outside of society in monuments from a dark past shaped how they are seen. Some trolls are very like us. They live in families, but are unlike us, living apart from us. In folk tales, trolls would come out of the primordial forests and steal away Christian children, replacing them, well, I'm not going to say it, replacing them with their changeling babies. That's the real mythology part. But they stole children, they stole women. See, they're saying that they think that this is a remnant of a fear of Christianity trying to be replaced. That trolls can be saga, blah, 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 blah. Okay, dwellers of ancestral forests. It is possible to interview. Do they live alone in burial mounds? Interesting, because there's a theory that the burial mounds here in the United States are actually Bigfoots, giants. Or do they live in communities in the woods and forests and steal human children to raise as part of their family? Which harkens back to the story I read about, his name just flew right out of my head. The miner guy who got kidnapped, picked up in a sleeping bag, and he thought that the Bigfoot, well, my opinion was, my reading between the lines was that he thought that he was supposed to be there to mate with the young female Bigfoot. So become part of the family, really. Okay, so to return to the question at the beginning, what is the difference between a man and a troll? It says it's some, literary quote here. I'm skipping over. Okay. But it says that regardless of what a troll is, you definitely don't want to run into one in the woods. Okay, now let me come back here to my page here. All right, give me a second here. I can't read this chat. I want to try and blow it up here and get to. Let's see if I pop it out, if that helps. What I find interesting is that the things I've heard about the mythology of trolls over the years is that, and that just said that they steal children, they steal young women, that they sneak into children's bedrooms at night and take them right out of their beds, that they live under bridges and that they'll grab people as they go over the bridge, and that people won't go into the woods at night because they're afraid that the trolls will get them, etc., and so on. All of that to me sounds like Bigfoot, right down to the physical description of them. They're giants, they're larger than men, they look like men, but they're ugly, they're covered in hair, they're smart, but they call them stupid, but they're smarter than animals. They're calling them stupid as far as the intellect of people goes. Right, so that's right where a Bigfoot is. A Bigfoot's not a dumb animal, but he's not quite, at our level. I mean, everything that there is, every description that there is of the typical giant troll, not the little people one, but the giant troll, sounds like a Bigfoot. And I found it very interesting that one of the meanings of the word troll, when you're going way back to the origins of the meaning of troll, I think it's troll-eye or something like that, where the root of the word came from. It stands for basically any kind of nasty creature you're going to find out in the woods, including werewolves. And now here we got people in the United States who are also claiming to see dogmen, which would look a lot like a werewolf, correct? Let me blow up my chat window here so I can see. Okay, hi Mary, if you're still here. Matt, Wicket Raider, Chelo, I don't know how to pronounce that, Chelo Jadis, Eric Saab, let's see, Matt, Toy Airy, I think. Yeah, it's been a very long time for me too, Toy Airy. See, I think I got everyone. Say something in the chat, and I'll give you a shout out. I can't tell if you're here unless I see that. We only have 16 users, 16 people watching currently. Not a big surprise. I've been out of the loop for a long time. You know, I used to get 100, 120, whatever it was, users watching, but it'll probably take some time to get our viewers back up. King of the Forest, how's it going? Yep, good. Glad to see you still here, Mary. So, does anyone have anything to say about the whole troll theory? I think it's not something that anyone's covered before, that I've heard of anyway. And, I mean, it's right there. It fits with, you know, if you look at some of the Indian traditions where they talk about the trolls, Bigfoots, stealing children to eat, carrying them off in baskets on their back, that kind of thing. It mirrors the stories about trolls. I mean, they even have imagery of trolls carrying children off in sacks. I mean, it's incredible the similarity between the old Indian mythology and the Norse and Scandinavian mythology of trolls. And these are two things that evolved independently before there was any connection across the ocean. So these things evolved, these mythologies evolved on two separate continents when there was no way that there was communication between them. I mean, you just can't deny that there's a connection, you know. And what I've said before, there's only two beings, there's only two animals, mammals, whatever, that I know of anyway, that exist. Well, let's say two primates that exist on every continent in the world, except possibly Antarctica, and that's humans and Sasquatch. So the only way that you're going to have mythologies in other continents that are evolving, that are similar to what you're finding here in North America, because remember, that's the old world, new world, right? The new world, the only people that were here were the Native Americans, and they were completely isolated from the rest of the world. The rest of the world gained technology, written language, recording history, etc., and so on. And then came over here to the New World, and the Native Americans were still fairly primitive, as we all know. But yet their mythology is the same. Similar mythology. How could that be, unless it's the same being that's being talked about in Norse and Scandinavian mythology as what's been talked about in Native American mythology? Let's see here. Sorry if I'm squinting, but I need to get a pair of 2.5s to read this monitor properly. CINZ cryptids in New Zealand. How you doing? Wicket Raider. What is it? Duendes? I've not heard of that one. Shyman. I've not heard of that one either. Sam Squatch, how's it going? Yeah, Sam Squatch, if you just popped in, I just went over, and it's just a quick show, real quick, about the similarities between the European mythology of trolls and the North American mythology from Native Americans about Bigfoots. How they mirror each other, yet that was prior to any transportation across the Atlantic or anything like that. It predates written history. Okay, what else? Oh, 25 minutes. Okay. Okay, does anybody have anything more to say about the trolls in chat? So I'm going to try to do shorter shows, 20-25 minutes. We're at the 25-minute mark now. I appreciate y'all coming in after I've been gone for so long. I'm going to start doing shows again. I'm going to try and get some regular shows, say at least one a week going. Well, probably say one every 2 weeks. And I'll be honest with you, I don't want to come on here and talk about just any old crap. I want to come on here and talk about something that is fresh, somewhat fresh, as fresh as it can be with Bigfoot being around for so long and talked about over and over again. But, new ideas, new hypotheses. So I don't want to just come on here and, if you've seen other channels that have spread towards Bigfoot and paranormal, I don't want to change my my channel to add paranormal because we're running out of stuff to talk about. So I'll do a show minimum of every 2 weeks, hopefully from now on. There are a couple of things I got to get straightened out here in the next couple of weeks. I am going to do something through the holidays, but as of the first of the year, I might disappear for a couple of weeks, but I'll be back. And from that point on, hopefully, I want to get out in the field too and show you all some of the stuff I've talked about in the past, as far as like the means that Bigfoot's used to travel without being seen. Like I covered it with the clear cuts, the high power line clear cuts, and that kind of stuff. Well, thanks, Mary. Alright folks, so I'm going to go ahead and close out the show for now, and I thank you again for coming around. I'm going to put up the screen with the Discord link on it, as I close the show, so if you want to go into Discord and discuss it further, there's people in Discord that you can, I think there's going to be people in Discord you can discuss that with. So, and I'll probably pop in there for a few minutes. So, let's see where we're at here. I'm trying to find the screen that's going to give you my contact information. Yeah, I'll use this screen here. There you go. Well, no, it's not on there. Doggone it. Is it on here? There you go. Down at the bottom there, you see the Discord link. You use that link to join the Discord server. And you can join us. It's actually audio actually talking. You can also type in chat if you want to. And until next time, y'all take it easy.